Okay, wait. Let me just check my focus.
Yes, you're highly
Sometimes
focused.
it takes a while. Really,
Yeah, you're a highly focused individual, I can see.
Okay. For those of you who are tuning in right now, please share this this live page. We're going to talk. We're gonna have a chat with Stephen Bones, and the reason why you should stay for this is because I actually met Stephen Bones about when was it? 2017. Is that when you started?
2018, dude. Mid 2018.
Mid 2018. So he
Yeah.
started a stand-up comedy in 2018, and that's when I met him. And turns out this guy is a multi-talented guy. You have watched his videos, Stephen Bones Everything, where he's a great voice actor. He has done all those cartoons or whatever videos that went viral. He's also a singer, and he also has his own podcast. So why not you introduce yourself? Anything more than that you want to say to the audience?
Yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. I've been a full-time voice actor for about going 10 years now. So got into like a midlife crisis kind of thing, and then decided to try dipping my toe into stand-up comedy. It was something I always wanted to try. Went for it. Really enjoyed it. Kept going for it. And then, I suddenly had this urge where I want to figure out how to get better at comedy. So I started my Facebook page and started making videos lah. And then turns out apparently I had a bit of a knack in that thing. So I just kept doing it. And look at where we are. I'm on a show with Gajen. Hot dang.
Hey, no lah. There's nothing like bro. Bro, I'm very jealous over your mic, bro. The sound is so crisp. Yeah. I've got a new mic coming in next Friday, which is a Rode NT USB Mini. Do you know that? It's like very easy to plug in.
Yeah, I mean, I have this mic because I was actually an audio engineer before I went into voiceover and all that. So I studied audio engineering. I am a bit of a geek when it comes to this kind of gear and all this kind of stuff. And for voiceover, having this equipment allows me to work from home. So, it makes sense lah. It makes sense for me to have this stuff.
Yeah. Actually, fun fact to all those who are tuning in, especially if you're not in the entertainment line, actually audio is the most important, then followed by video, because people want to listen to what you say. So sound check is so important. Yeah. So if any of y'all are doing presentation,
Yeah, but most people, they get it the other way around. They will focus everything on the visuals first, and then the audio will just go to hell. I've seen there was a period in time where the Malaysian animation scene was booming, because the government was pumping so much money into it. MDEC was trying to get a lot of cartoons off the ground. People were signing up for grants and making cartoons. So you'd see stuff right on YouTube and all that. Visually, this cartoon looked like, oh my god, this thing is ready for Cartoon Network today. And then you hear the sound that comes out of it. Right? The voices sound like they were recorded on those computer stick microphones.
That means there's no depth to it, right? You can't hear the details, right?
You can't hear the detail. You remember how those sound, right? Those tiny stick microphones. There are paper cups with strings on them that sound more full than those things.
Yeah. The sound quality is like how our parents do a voice message, lah. The same sound. Hey, when you're coming back, I made chicken curry. It's going to spoil tomorrow, so you better come. No, sound is so important. Let me tell you an experience. You know the movie 1917?
I heard about that.
It's a war movie. It won damn lot of awards. So I watched in the time I was in Penang. I watched in GSC, and there was one of the speakers spoiled. One of the main set of speakers spoiled. So when it came to the vocals, it was very soft. So the whole movie was spoiled. It was like a shitty experience just because of the sound. And sometimes a war movie, which won a lot of awards. It's like a
I remember watching, I think, one of these big action movies. I don't remember if it was Transformers or God knows what. And then same thing in the cinema. The subwoofers all koyak, all gone. So you no bass, in the whole movie. You see a big explosion.
That's very disturbing, way.
Very disturbing. And then you're like, if it was a small screen, right? Somehow your brain makes that connection, right? But the fact that you're in a cinema and it's so big, you're like, ugh. Yeah. But back on that thing about sound, right? Yeah, I am a bit particular when it comes to audio, especially in the stuff I do and all this kind of stuff, which I don't know if the audience has picked up on it, or the people that follow me, but I don't know. I hope that in some way they are able to like, why his stuff is like a bit different from some of these other guys that I follow and all this kind of stuff. You know, that little attention to this one detail lah. That I'm not even sure if people like pick it up or not. You know.
So Richard has said here, Steven's got some serious, sick all-round talent. Yeah, like I said in the beginning, this guy here is does a lot of things. Like podcast is the most recent one, right?
The podcast was the most recent of the live streams are the most recent of everything. The podcast, if you don't count the live stream, the podcast were the last the last newest thing. Yeah, because the podcast came about because last year, I in 2018 early December, I put out my first videos.
Okay. Video podcast.
No, these were the viral videos, the Mamak King, the Lion King and all. So those did really well. And then I decided to commit to making one video a week for the whole year, for the whole of 2019. So what ended up happening was, like halfway or 3/4 of my way in through 2019, right? Like one video a week, man. It's like, it was like a lot to do because like I like one man show kind of thing, and I was trying to do a lot, and mentally it was taking a very huge toll, and I wanted to do something where like, you know, where I can just like no prep, no nothing lah, just like bleh, and put it out there, you know, just for mental health's sake, and the podcast came about because I wanted to do a podcast, and then I just decided, okay lah, let's just try. My first episode I think was like 5 minutes. Simply, you know, because I was in bed already. I think it's like 2 a.m. in the morning. And I was like, I cannot sleep lah. And I was like, okay, it feels like I didn't do anything today. And I've been wanting to do this podcast, but don't know what to call it, don't know what it should be about, don't know what, you know, don't know lah. I just know I want to do, but don't know what it's supposed to be. I was like, screw this lah. I switch on the mic, you know, set up a Podbean account, record, and just throw whatever I have out there. You know,
correct, yeah.
5 minutes, yeah. And then
that's one thing a lot of people don't realize, you know. They plan too much, and then at the end they don't execute.
Exactly.
So to all those who are tuning in, trust me, like from our experience here, whatever that you want to do, try to avoid over planning. A lot of people fall into that. Like some people, they message me, Gajen, I want to try stand-up comedy, and then they'll ask, how do I transition from joke to joke? How do I make certain twists and all that? Don't just write 3 minutes first. Go up on stage, do it. Just do it first. You fail. Then later on, you come and when you don't make the first move, that's when you haven't started. That means you have already failed. Yeah.
My first time on stage doing stand up, I don't remember what I said. I honestly don't remember, but I just remember the night before, I wrote like 1 or 2 pages worth of script, you know, and then like in the morning I woke up, I read it, I was like, oh my god, this is absolute garbage. There's nothing here. I was like, oh my god, I cannot go lah tonight, you know. And then it was a Wednesday night, you know, so it was Wednesday evening time already, and I was like, oh shit, there's traffic jam, and I was like, oh god, I know the Crack House open mic starts at about 8:30, and I was trying to make every excuse in my head not to go, you know. Your material you didn't prepare lah, you know, you're not ready lah, it's raining lah, anything lah. I know there's a dog running by, bad luck lah, whatever, you know. Yeah. But then I just like told myself like, you know what, it's not as okay. I was like, okay, what will happen? Realistically speaking, what will happen? If I go there, what? 1, I'm not funny, nobody laughs, right? 2, I get a couple of chuckles, good lah. But then what will actually happen? Like, will I get like a Netflix special right away? No. Will I suddenly like be recognized as this comic genius that appeared on stage at his first ever open mic and be remembered forever? No, that does not happen. Or will I be known as the guy that bombed so hard that, you know, comedy just died in Malaysia that day lah? No, you know, that won't happen. So I was like, okay, what's the worst thing that could happen? Worst thing is that I go up there, I do it, and then I find out whether I want to do it again or not, whether I like it or not. You know, and the fortunate thing was that I did it, and I was like, okay, this was pretty fun. I went up unprepared, like very underprepared. All right, and I was like, okay, this is fun. I want to do it again. The next one I went to was a Tuesday night at One Mic Stand. When Brian and Brian was still running, Brian and Prakash were running it. I just showed up. I didn't know that it was like a pre-sign up thing, but they let me on anyway. I ate complete silence for 3 minutes on stage that time. But the weird thing was that, I was like, but I still want to do it. I still want to come back.
Yeah. See, that means you're doing it because you like it, because it's your passion. Yeah.
Yeah. So after a few tries, I was like, okay, like I really want to do this, lah. But yeah, that first time was always very special to me because I get people like turning on me when I tell them this, lah. Like when other people want to try stand up, right? And they're like Steven, I want to try stand up, but how should I go? I said just go to the open mic. It's like, oh, do I need to? How many jokes do I need to prepare? I said, bro, don't just go.
Yeah.
Right? Because I understand, like, you want to make sure your first time is as good and as well prepared as you can be. I understand that mindset because it's good discipline, right? But I come from a position where like that is just adding more roadblocks for you. You are just trying to plan more things that will not allow you to execute later on. Whereas if you keep your KPI to a minimum, your expectations, your goals to a minimum. The only like my only hurdle to cross that first open mic, right, was show up and do it and walk out. That's it. Yeah.
I had that issue whenever I see a hot chick, I keep over preparing, I say, how am I gonna and then I never spoke to that hot chick.
Never spoke. And then after they complain, right, it's the fault of the universe, lah.
No, I'll complain that I don't get anyone, and then the girl probably complain, why am I always single? Overthinking other.
Yeah, but dude, okay, there is a thing to that because I had a huge problem with like talking to women and all that last time I saw.
You're married now. You're married.
I know, I'm married. Yeah.
Okay.
So managed
you
to
look
get
damn young, bro. You look like a baby, like an overage baby.
No, but what I did back then was I found out there was this like pickup artist video series thing on YouTube last time, lah. And there was the guy leading was this guy called this thing called the mystery method. So this guy was systematically teaching guys like how to approach girls and talk to them, what signs to look out for and all that. And granted, a lot of people, their end objective was to get laid, right? But there were those right, no, I mean let's be like fair, lah. But there were those guys that like genuinely had a problem of like not knowing how to approach the opposite gender or someone who they fancied and or don't know how to prepare themselves for all this and get too much in the way of like just going out and talk to that person, lah. So this guy, he came up with like a system so that you just follow it and then in your mind you're like, okay, in a way it's a little bit like a numbers game because it's not about like, wow, I like this girl, I tried on her, she didn't like what I do, I'm fated to be single. It wasn't like that. It was like, okay, I try on this one and then it didn't work. Okay, I tried on another one. Wait, I got something or and try again. Yeah, then after that you're like, oh, okay, there is like you have a system to start working with, lah. And then when you land on that girl that you really like, this is the one, then okay, lah. Then at least you manage to pry the door open first, lah. Or you can just use it to get laid, up to you.
Yeah. There's Steven giving advice as a father to all the young people out there. Yeah. How to get laid.
Yeah.
If you fail, just remember of Steven's face, lah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even when you're succeeding, remember my face. Think of this face when you're succeeding.
Okay, I want to ask, how has MCO been for you? Because like you do all those 4 things, right? Like singing, voiceover, comedy, and now podcast. So how has it been for you?
It's been weird, lah, because one thing, okay, work. Okay, before I go to work, like social wise, lah, I am the kind of person who really enjoys being like cooped up in a room for like weeks on end, not talking to anyone. I'm perfectly fine with that.
That's every husband, bro.
Yeah, but no, I even like I'm the type I would prefer my family not be around. Like honestly speaking, I would prefer like no one be in the house. I am that kind of introvert, lah. I want the world to end so that I can be the only person left.
Our first episode, Kami just said the exact same thing.
I know.
I don't know whether now people are generalizing. Is every man like that? Like they want to be alone.
But it really is. Then like, but now I'm trapped in this situation, right? Where the first few weeks of MCO, like I'm locked up with my family, so I have my wife and the kids and the mother-in-law, and I was doing like all these live streams, especially in the early stage, right? So like, I burnt out, I burnt out in the first 2 weeks of MCO, and I couldn't figure out why. Then I spoke to some friends, and it dawned on me, I was like, oh my god, I've been socializing way too much. Because in my regular life, I do not socialize this much. So I've been socializing so much during MCO that like mentally I am burnt out. I'm like a sim where the meter is like already red already. And people are like, wait, MCO is the time where like people are going crazy because they cannot see other people, they cannot like hang out with friends, and you are complaining about socializing too much. A bit.
But in a way, it's good. Like, at least you're productive, because a lot of people they're wasting time during MCO. At least you're doing something, right?
Yeah,
you're keeping yourself busy, right?
Yeah, because work like my regular work, voiceover is my main bread and butter, right? That has like pretty much grinded to a complete halt because
yeah,
like right now companies are just trying to stay alive. So advertising and production, shooting videos, this is the last thing on their minds right now, right?
Yeah.
But so
except for Pornhub, Pornhub they're
Pornhub
still shooting.
Pornhub is
Yeah,
doing
so I actually applied. They replied to me, automated email. It's like, Gajen, we are looking for a mixed breed actor.
Mixed breed actor.
But I don't know whether I don't know which category they'll put me in, bro.
I don't know. If
I think category, bro. Someone be arriving on a boat.
Yeah. You either get like some hot blonde MILF show up at your door, or you will get some big fit black dude.
Immigration, bro. I think I'll get an immigration office. For sure, bro. Either that or security.
But yeah, it's been nuts because like my usual job is slow. So in a way it has shown me like how not secure it can be at times,
Yeah.
I understand it's a trying period for everyone, but to me this is like very scary because like essentially I'm a freelancer lah, the work I do is basically considered freelance work. So I'm now like scramming around doing all these live streams and all that because to me it's that lah, like okay, MCO, we're all stuck at home, but I cannot allow myself to not put anything out and not be productive because I mean surely there must be something to be gained out of all of this.
Definitely, yeah.
Right? At the end of all this, right? No matter if they extend it to end of to middle of May or to end of the year, by the end of this, right, I want to come out the other end knowing that, you know what? One, either I have at least something new that I can do, or two, that I learned something and I didn't waste my time and I built more followers, made more connections, whatever it is.
Correct.
Three, that I discover some new like format or grow something that can eventually become another source of income for me.
Correct. Yeah.
Potentially that I own and that will be more.
That's what I'm doing right now. Building network. Yeah. Because a lot of people they are looking from an income standpoint, like like a lot of people actually think that I'm also doing well now, like financially. Until I tell them like I'm literally zero, like for this month until the next like 5 months, because all the events got postponed. But because I'm happy.
Yeah, financially you're doing
people think
on your own.
No, people see that this guy's always happy. He must be doing well. I say, no, I just choose to be happy. But actually financially not so. But yeah, like you said, I'm together with you. Like I'm also learning this live streaming. Dude, today the whole day I've been learning about live streaming. And there are people out there who are just called full-time live streamers. And it's amazing setup, bro. Yeah. Oh.
No, I went on this thing called Twitch Sings. Because I just wanted to try like the singing formats and all that, right? I went this Twitch Sings and I was like, okay, there's all these like Twitch streamers and all, right? And like, dude, like our backdrops are like we look like poverty-stricken third world children compared to those people. No? All of them got like, wow, like the
Iron Man, like
camera angle nice one. Then got like color coordinated rooms, you know. And then got like fairy lights. Every one of them has a fairy light. I don't know why. All got like some practical light where like
Yeah.
it's like some neon light thing going on.
Correct, yeah, all neon light. Mine is the kitchen behind there. I used to leave the light on, no. And some people commented, Gajen, your house looks scary. I just watched Conjuring. Perhaps you can off it. Like,
Was it Vishnu? I think that was Vishnu commenting probably.
No, Vishnu is busy, bro. He's busy having happy time. Okay, I want to ask you about singing.
Yeah.
How did singing start for you? Tell me the story when you started.
Singing has been like since like childhood, man. Cause like growing up, there were two things I really wanted to be. One was in a cartoon. Two was to be to be a rock star lah. To like sing on a big stage and that kind of thing. So I started singing since like kindergarten, primary school on my own. I was a latchkey kid, so parents were like almost never at home because they were busy working like morning to night, right? My when I was 9, my family kind of got split up. So we were all in Singapore until I was the age of 9, and then like the government of Singapore kicked me out. So my brother got stuck there, and I came over to Malaysia. That time was Johor with my parents. So my parents worked
That time
really
was
hard.
Johor.
Yeah,
oh, you mean at the time in Johor, then after I moved to KL?
Yeah. So we were in Johor Bahru. So I was always like home alone. So even in Singapore, I was always home alone lah. So when I was home alone, I just like to like blast music and just sing lah. When I got into high school, I joined like the school choir and all that. Learned like classical, like like the opera singing and this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Quit after a few years. Then when it like managed to join this corporate function band. So at the age of 15, I started like singing for like corporate functions and all that. And, yeah, and besides being the singer, I was also the coolie helping to set up the speakers, connect all the cables, all this kind of stuff lah. So it's like a full top to bottom humbling experience lah. You think you rock star, but then at the end of the day, you're still the coolie, rolling cables and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. Then after that, went to college. Pursued singing also, but then took up sound engineering as well, and sang for like rock bands, heavy metal bands, that kind of stuff lah. So singing has always been like part of my thing, and it's one of the things in my life that I use as a benchmark, because I don't know if you get this when performing stand up or any other form of performance you do, but when I sing, especially this last decade or so lah, or maybe even earlier if I remember it, but maybe I don't remember it. But it's like there are songs when I perform or I can hit a zone when I'm singing where like everything it sounds corny as shit lah, but it's like everything just aligns, mind, body, soul, everything is acting as one, and you are just like,
it's like cocaine lah.
It's like cocaine lah.
Everything is aligned.
Yeah, everything is aligned and nothing can get in your way, and like even audiences when they watch, should they choose to pay attention, right? They will be sucked in, like you're not, because you are like, you really don't care already. You are just in that groove, and with stand up, because it's still something very new for me, so I'm still like fumbling my way around trying to see what works for me and what doesn't. But like with singing, that set the bar lah. With voiceovers, I've managed to hit that. So I like voiceovers, I know I'm comfortable with it. But stand up, yeah, that one I think will take a bit more time to get used to it. But yeah, I'm kind of glad I have singing as a core skill, because I have that benchmark lah. I have that benchmark of how a good performance from me should feel like. Yeah.
How did it start for you?
Which one, singing?
No, voice acting.
Voice acting. Okay. I watched a lot of cartoons growing up, so I was always copying all the voices. I was copying all the advertisements and all this kind of stuff. Never thought much of it. Never knew that it could become a career. Then when I went to college, I was because I was a singer and I could rap a bit, right? So I had like this college senior whose aunt worked in this audio production house studio kind of thing. Said, my aunt is looking for someone who can rap in Chinese. Do you want to try? I was like, okay, I go and try lah. when did it? And they were like, wow. I was like, wow, got this kind of work for like commercials and never thought of it. And I saw this guy come in later than me, leave earlier than me, and then when I passed by the producer's table, I saw like one invoice, right? I was like, hey, not bad. I was like, who was that guy? What does he do? I was like,
That's a very Chinese thing to do, bro.
I know. But that was how I discovered that this industry existed lah. And then okay, didn't think much of it. After a couple of years later, tried to like kept coming in as a jingle singer here and there, and then told my friend lah. He was because we used to be in a band again. I said, hey, can hook me on one of these voiceover jobs. I want to try lah. I want to try. Whoa, bro, I did it, and it was my first job. I remember it was for like Maxis Yahoo One Search. Yahoo One Search.
Yahoo was relevant, back then.
Exactly.
No offense to Yahoo, but
I know, but yeah, right. We still count, like we thought there was a possibility we could find something there, on Yahoo.
Did you do voiceover for ICQ or anything?
Oh no.
Internet Explorer. Nah, being sarcastic, bro.
Yeah, no, but like the Maxis Yahoo One Search ad, right? It was like a 40-second ad, and it took me like 2 hours plus to do it. Like, to put it in perspective, right now, if that same ad came in, I would probably be able to clear it in like 15 minutes to half an hour. So that's how like noob or like bad I was at it when I first started. So that was the first job. Traumatized. Okay, don't want to do it anymore. Then graduated. Ended up working in BFM as a production engineer. When they first
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, when they first started, that time not even on air yet. Not even on air yet. Yeah. So I was there, and then the boss was like saying like, I don't want everyone to just do that one job. If everyone can like pick up new skills and multitask, that would really help lah, because we're a small station now. So I was like, okay lah, maybe I'll try like, I don't know, like news reading. So tried it, and then there were some people there working there, radio producers, and they were like, oh, actually you got the tone and everything right already. You just need to correct your diction. So instead of 1 2 3, you say 1 2 3. Your TH and this kind of thing, small things like that lah. So pick that up, and then like got a chance to read the news on air, and it was like a 6 a.m. slot the next day out of nowhere, and I died, man. It was so bad. The station got complaints. Like it was a station that no one listened to, and it got complaints.
Why? But you're saying the same content, what? Like written content, what?
I know, but like I'm reading it live, and I was doing a horrible job at it because I was like,
what? Give an example.
Yeah, I was like,
so it's not the content. It's your like a pronunciation and all that.
Yeah. So I didn't write the script.
People want to complain over that.
Yeah, and it was horrible. No, because I did very badly. To be fair, I did very badly. So like the boss was like, okay, you know what? Maybe I gotta take you off. Sorry, but maybe next time maybe try again lah. Once everything's ready and we gotta let this stink wash off first. Then like I was at that job for less than a year. I remember, because I was like, I want to do my own thing lah. I got to see all these voiceover people come in for auditions and air checks and like that kind of stuff. Yeah. And I was like, I want to do this too lah. So I was like, okay, what's the worst that could happen? I quit my job and go and whack this voiceover thing, give it a try. If it doesn't pan out in like 6 months to a year, if I don't hit these like basic numbers, then I just call it a day and I go back to work full time lah. Saved up some money, took that plunge, and like, man, it's been like more than 10 years, more than 10 years already that I've had to do a full-time job. So yeah, been quite lucky in that respect lah, in terms of the voiceover stuff.
That's good to know. Actually, fun fact, this year I did my first voice acting job.
Oh, nice.
So I did for a cartoon. It's about murder. Actually, I can't say much. It's in the contract, yeah. So I can't say.
Oh.
It's never out. So you didn't hear anything. Yeah.
Hey, is it a mobile game?
No, it's not a mobile game.
It's okay.
Okay, moving on to the next question. Okay, what has been your worst show ever? Be it whether it's a singing or comedy gig. Worst experience ever.
Worst experience ever. Comedy wise, I think I there's nothing much there's nothing that bad yet lah. I think there's worst recording session ever I have. There were a couple, in different ways. One of the worst I've had was like this domestic abuse PSA where I had to play like the angry husband. I came up, dude, because you have to like act and you have to like really get in that groove, right, of being angry, right. I came out of the session shaking, dude. It was horrible.
Oh, I thought you just went physical. I'm in the zone now.
No, but then the other worst session I had was when I was recording for this. It was a potato chip brand, I remember. It was like a 10-15 second ad, and I wasn't even I wasn't even like the voice saying words, I was the voice of like these like tiny potato chips or potatoes or don't know what. So it's like just little like hee hee, like small tiny things like that, no. Dude, I was locked up doing giggles and laughs for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And to the point where like the guy was like, bro, your ha ha ha. The first ha, can you start higher? Then the second one, you go down a bit. Then the third one, you go all the way. Like, ha ha ha. Then like, do like 2,000 of those things, right? And then after that, he's like, bro, no, doesn't sound natural anymore. I was like, yeah, after you like manufacture that laughter.
Yeah.
What? Oh. I've had another one where I had to like read bank contracts for the blind.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, so it was a job where they were like, bro, this one the budget, it's a sort of a semi-charity thing lah, so CSR thing, help out with, so we charge low bit. Can I say okay, fine. Then we're like, what is the job actually? Oh, it's bank contracts. You have to just read bank contracts. That's it. Just read bank contracts. Who is this for? It's like blind people lah. And I thought I would be reading like simplified bank contracts that we all can understand. No, dude. I read like the bloody iTunes agreement kind of contract, where the word, where the fonts
the one you need a magnifying glass.
Magnifying glass, and then like you don't like the first 5 paragraphs, you know what you're talking about, right? Like half an hour in, you're like, okay lah, I don't know what happens, but the bank owns my soul lah by the end of all this. And like, dude, I read the contract, right? I read multiple contracts, and it hit a point, right, where somewhere in the contract where it said if the laws of the country change, the contract, even though if the law of the country change and the contract is in breach of the law, that contract is still above the law. I was like, wow, no joke, man. Bloody bank owns your nuts to the grave and beyond, man. Oh man. That's power for you. That's power.
Okay, what about your best show ever?
Best show ever. Wow.
Can be for either lah, comedy or singing gig or.
I don't know, man. I best show ever. I think. Oh, okay. I remember now. Okay, this is the best one I ever did. My college days when I still had a rock band. We were invited to play for a tribute gig. So every band just play cover songs of one band and like a tribute band lah. So the band we picked was Tenacious D.
Oh,
Jack Black punya band. This was for I think Reza Saleh's Moonshine at Laundry Bar at that time. So we went up, we did a whole set of Tenacious D songs, so crowd happy lah. And then there's one song in the movie The Pick of Destiny called Master Exploder.
I love that. Yeah.
They in the bar,
double guitar.
Yeah, double guitar. So we did that. We did that song, and I pre-recorded the vocals. So nobody knew what was going on. The whole show I sang live. That one song I pre-recorded. All right. So when we started playing the song, it was like whoa, and it was like the intro, the voice is like They were like whoa, and then after that, right. I was holding the mic, right? I was holding the mic like that. It's like, I do not need a microphone.
Oh.
And then people were like, what the fuck? So I keep telling people this. My best singing performance did not involve me actually singing.
Did you lick the guitar? Right?
Oh, that one
like
my bandmate. I printed like a fake. I printed like the Pick of Destiny, everything. Throw at people and shit. Oh, it was hilarious. I loved it.
You're not gonna watch that movie.
Yeah, right.
It's like the guy doesn't need write material. He just needs to talk.
Yeah, but I like so it gets even harder, right, to figure out how this guy comes up with his material, how he polishes it, you know. And then I think he does bring it up in like some interviews or something where he it's not written out completely. It's just a couple of points, and it's just a matter of repeating the story to a point where you know where everything is supposed to go and where everything is supposed to hit. You know, so that's an interesting workflow. I also love guys like I also love Robin Williams. Yeah, because for me, Robin Williams is the fact that the cartooniness lah, the cartoon factor lah, that his act outs were like no one can touch that stuff lah. Yeah. Who else? Okay, Robin Williams, Bill Burr, Bernie Mac. Yeah, these are the main ones. Stephen Colbert, one of my favorites also. Yeah.
Is Stephen Colbert your favorite late night show?
Oh yeah, definitely one of my favorites. It was Jimmy Fallon for a short while, but like Fallon, the issue I have with Fallon, macam lah, I got a problem with Jimmy Fallon, but it's like, the thing
he doesn't reply my messages.
He doesn't reply my messages.
Blue tick by Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah. But Fallon is like, he's silly. The silly and fun thing after a while, it feels a bit repetitive lah. Especially when you like try to watch like 4 or 5 episodes in succession. Yeah. Whereas the Colbert one, like I think there's a more, it's more written and methodical. So sometimes when it hits, it really hits. But for me, I still prefer Colbert when he was doing the Colbert Report. Yeah. So it's that amped up character work. My favorite line that I know it's not a very smart line or something lah. But my favorite line ever from him was it was the Colbert Report, and it was one of those intro things where he would like just drop one-liners, right? So the first one, I remember the one my favorite was always like, you say tomato, I say you go to hell. Yeah, it's like I was like, just attitude and like stupidity, woo, but gelled in this like nice intelligent package. So yeah, I quite enjoy that. Yeah.
No, the thing about Jimmy Fallon is it's a good starter pack for anyone who hasn't watched a late night show. Yeah, it's easy to introduce Jimmy Fallon to them. You get what I mean? Compared to say, like for me, I like Conan. But I'm not sure if I'm ready to introduce Conan to someone who has not watched a late night show before.
Oh yeah, I love.
Yeah, because because Jimmy Fallon's like I know like his laugh style is a bit fake and all that. That's the joke. When you look in the comments, like Jimmy Fallon's laugh is more fake than a porn or something like that. Or WWE. Okay.
Yeah, but like Jimmy Fallon is if you were having a party and like all your guests were very mixed, right? Like you have a very oddball room of guests, right? And you're like, shit lah, who am I gonna call that can like keep everyone happy? Doesn't really long term. You call Jimmy Fallon.
Correct.
Yeah, if like it's this batch of friends, like they are like that. Okay, maybe this one you call Conan O'Brien. Maybe like this one more.
Correct. Yeah, you put that up right. Like that's why it's a wider spectrum, but like the surface.
Level. Yeah. Quite a few lah. Quite a few comedians I really enjoy, but yeah, these few are the ones that I can think of lah, right off the top of my head now.
Okay, we come to the last part of this Just a Chat K. So this last part is called Just Answer K. So the reason why it's like that is it means like short form for okay lah.
Oh, okay.
Jack. So Just Answer K is Jack. Just a Chat K is also Jack.
Wow.
See, very smart. Because I like Christopher Nolan, bro. I like to drop little hints here and there.
So next time you do an offline version of this show, it's called Jack Off lah.
Very good, Nice pun there. Okay, so basically I'm just going to ask you A or B and you just pick one. You have to pick one. Okay? So the first one, Madonna or J-Lo?
Madonna or J-Lo? Madonna.
Linkin Park or Limp Bizkit?
Limp Bizkit.
Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter?
Lord of the Rings.
Sennheiser or Bose?
Sennheiser.
Boobs or ass?
Boobs.
If you had to migrate to another country, UK or US?
US.
Travel to another country, Afghanistan or Sudan?
Fuck. Sudan.
Bee Gees or Beatles?
Who?
Bee Gees or Beatles?
Beatles.
Nintendo Switch or PS4?
PS4.
Jim Carrey or Will Ferrell?
Jim Carrey.
Rob a bank or kidnap a child?
Rob a bank. Childs are too messy and noisy.
That's it. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. You got Stephen Bones here. Just completed just answer. Okay. Anything you want to plug in? You got your shows and all that?
Yeah, I got like two sets of live streams. One is called The Lockup. You guys can look it up at facebook.com/The Lockup Live. The other show is called The Chap Fan. Okay, The Lockup Live I do with Mike Sadi and Nuha. So it's a comedians podcast kind of thing. Happens every Monday and Thursday night, 10 p.m. Then there's also the live stream I do with Joanne Kam and BB Kepo, and we always have a revolving guest. That happens on Wednesday night and Saturday nights at 10 p.m. and that happens on my page, Stephen Bones Everything. And of course, please go check out my page, Stephen Bones Everything. I've got a YouTube channel as well, Instagram. Gajen, you have the same problem, right? Your Facebook all happening, but then Instagram is like, oh, what's going on lah? Nobody.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to grow. I don't know. I need to post like a bikini picture, like promote a product. Hey guys, I've got a new ointment. Like this can boost your motivation.
Yeah, these faces are not built for visual formats.
Yeah, exactly. Like, bro, people message me, bro, Gajen, how do I like apply for visa? I say, bro, I'm not the person, lah. I know I look like one of those guys, but no, lah.
Just
okay, thank you so much, Stephen.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate
it. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. So go and check him out, Stephen Bones Everything. And I'll see you guys in the next episode of Just a Chat K. Thank you.